CTV family. Catch us live on your TV screens.
Thank you so much to Chef Lungisa Obefikile Izolo as well as Gem I. And if you missed those interviews, you can hop on to YouTube so that you can recap with us. Earlier on the show, we had Donovan as well as Use Brian as well as Michali. Those you can catch tomorrow morning between the hours of 8 and 9. And then after, this is Ofumanega. YouTube. Remember besincokola no Proveg udon besixelela uba kutheni funeka sibe vegans. Now, these are the 5 reasons why you need to be pro-veg. Check it out. Those are the 5 reasons, and if you're not convinced, perhaps you need to come through again on Tuesday so that we give you even more reasons. Chelsea from the environmental desk is going to be joining us as soon as we are done with Ulwandile. She's still with the Red Cross Children's Hospital as we celebrate International Children's Day. Lwa, watagwan.
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. Still celebrating Happy Children's Day. If you have a child, make sure you show them some extra love today because it is their day and they are here to be celebrated and loved and to be given sugar and everything in between. I'm not sure about the sugar part, okay? But joining us in the studio is still Dwayne from Red Cross Hospital, and we're discussing all things that have to do with the little ones. Now, one thing I specifically want to find out is in order for us to have Happy Children's Day the next year, we need to make sure that we are keeping our young ones very safe, especially when it comes to COVID-19. So what are some of the tricks and tips that you can give anyone that's watching right now that has a child, that has a young sister, that has a young brother, to look after them, to make sure that they make it to next year's Happy Children's Day?
Yeah, look, I think when it comes to COVID, we know that children are firstly less likely to get it, less likely to spread it, and less likely to have serious COVID and to die from it. So yeah. I think the first step is to acknowledge that.
Okay, cool.
The second thing to look at when you're looking at young kids especially is to remember that children love to look up to and copy role models, right? If everybody in the household makes a game out of wearing a mask, going to town, if you're going out, if you're in the community, wear your mask, take it with, let the kids and youngsters also see people interacting with masks. And in that way, you know, we can help keep people safe. Make fun games of how to give, you know, whether you call it Wi-Fi high fives or Bluetooth high fives or something like that, that promotes interaction without actual physical touching. That's also fantastic. And kids they love it. They enjoy it. We do it in the hospital with quite a few different units, and the kids are absolutely crazy about it. So yeah, I think that there's a lot of ways which you can make it fun for children this Children's Day, even though it is COVID.
Yeah, and then winter is coming up, and what are some of the things that you would advise parents so that you make sure you don't see them at Red Cross Hospital? So maybe their child is still fine. What are some of the things they need to do, especially in winter, to make sure that their little ones don't end up in the hospital?
I think the very first one, hands down, is definitely burn prevention. We've seen an increase in burns patients at the hospital now. We know we're at the start of our burn season, where we have patients, unfortunately, coming to the hospital with quite severe burns. At Red Cross, we've got a very, very good burns unit. We're the pediatric burns facility. And you know, we get kids coming in with hot water burns, flame burns, those types of things. So we want to stop them from having to come in. And the very first tip that I can give with that is looking at hot water, is put in the cold water first, right? So put in cold water, then add hot water and test the water with your elbow until you know that it is a reasonable temperature for the young one. So that's the very first one. Second one is keep your kettle cords tucked away. Make sure that is not in the reach of children. Then paraffin and any matches and those types of things, keep them out of reach. Put them on top of the cupboard, put them in a lockable cupboard if possible, and don't allow kids to play with it. You know, we like our fires, we like our braais in South Africa as well.
Yeah.
So when you around a braai place fire and you're getting ready to braai or something like that, please make sure that you don't just pour paraffin onto the fire with kids around. It can be dangerous, it can cause an explosion. Start your fire in a safe way and just make sure that you've got it under control and never leave it unattended, especially not when there's kids around. Otherwise, just proper adult supervision is critical, and that pretty much sums it all up.
Yeah, I feel like in winter, parents especially need to be more vigilant because children are touching a lot of fires. It is warm. We're putting on our heaters and kids don't know exactly what it is they can't touch. So ladies and gentlemen, please do make sure that you are staying extra vigilant towards the people that you love. Dwayne from Red Cross, thank you so much for joining us. Thank you for the tips and tricks to make sure that our children are safe. And we'll see you next time on the next Happy Children's Day. Thank you so much for joining us, Ne. But right now, though, we're going to link to Lamali Moon to find out what's happening on this beautiful Children's Day. Hi, Boo, what's happening?
Support those more babies. Well, I'm glad you asked when Alwandile. Right now, we're going to be talking about the environment.
Yeah.
But before see Tetino Chelsea from the environmental desk here at Cape Town TV, just want to remind the viewers that on Thursday, we're extending this conversation when it comes to International Children's Day, because we're going to be looking at child exploitation, child labor, child abuse, trafficking, and everything in between. And if you have experience or any expertise or any opinion about the very same topic, you can hashtag Ekse8, email us go ekse@capetowntv.org, or silandele social media handles zethu ezingu Ekse Live. Thank you for choosing to be with us this Tuesday afternoon. I'm sure this is a 360 for everybody because we've spoken about food,
fitness,
motivation,
environment.
Hello.
Well, right now joining us is, of course, Chelsea, who's from the environmental desk. We're talking all things environmental week, which is this week, and the D-Day is Saturday, talking about the importance of saving Mother Earth. Chelsea, welcome to Ekse.
Thank you. It's so nice to be in front of the camera.
Finally, he's here. You're always behind the scene, and right now you're in front of the camera. Let's talk about its environmental week, where everyone's encouraged to be eco-friendly. Why is it so important to encourage individuals to be eco-friendly?
It's not where we're going to live if we're not eco-friendly. I mean, it's like taking care of your house, you know. You want to keep your house clean. This is our home. It's our collective home, the planet Earth. So where are we going to live? How are we going to live if we don't keep our home clean?
Yeah, now what are some of the small steps that each and every one of us now that we can take to reduce the matter this issue so that it does not get out of hand?
I think
it's not already.
Exactly. I don't know if we've already reached, the tipping point where it's already out of hand. But to answer your question, if there's anything that we can do, it's just very simple to reduce and reuse and recycle. So reduce how much you buy, reduce how much water you consume, reduce how much electricity you're using, reuse as much as you can. So, we like to throw things away. If it breaks, throw it away. If there's a hole in it, throw it away. But really repair things as well. So just, going back to the basics of things and really just going back to indigenous ways of doing things, I think also.
Yeah. Now we live in a beautiful city, Cape Town, which is famously known for the Table Mountains, of course, the attractions that we have. But I'm sure there are environmental issues that we face in Cape Town. What are those environmental issues that we are currently facing and some of us are not aware of?
Yeah, so in Cape Town we have the way that the city's set up. It's highly prone to a massive carbon footprint because of how dependent we are on vehicle systems. We don't have a subway train, for example. We're very reliant on taxis and buses and cars to get around. So this obviously contributes massively to our carbon footprint as a city. And also, we're prone to things like droughts. I mean, just a few days ago, we had day zero. And this is because of a decrease in rainfall and increase in temperatures. So, things like this. And also, we're prone to rising sea levels and to hectic winds. You see how people are falling over themselves in town when it gets windy. So
I'm a week, just kind of
exactly. Exactly. So these are the kinds of things that we face in Cape Town.
If big corporations, we can't live with them, we can't live without them. I'm sure that there are some of Izindo that they can do to be eco-friendly and somehow respectful to the planet that we live in. What are they?
You know, that's such an important question, Mama, because the corporations, massive corporations and governments have such an important role to play when it comes to environmental issues. And I say this because, to answer your question, corporations can be doing a lot better by just stop greenwashing. So when I say greenwashing, it's like the facade of being eco-friendly. So they say that they're eco-friendly, but it's really for the sake of profits. So for example, one of the examples is, if you buy a tin of tuna next time, just check, you'll see like there's this little round sticker that says, this is, dolphin friendly. Sure. And it's not really dolphin friendly, but it's more, it looks better to buy something that's dolphin friendly. So you're more prone to buy something that's dolphin friendly, even though it's not. And we've seen also with massive corporations that sell cool drink and water, these companies are contributing massively towards like the plastic bottles that we find in our oceans, and these companies are planning to actually triple production of their plastic bottles, which is insane to think about.
Having said that, I think there's something very important that you and I need to check right now, just to give you a little more education.
You got the whole world in your hands. You got the whole world in your hands. You got the whole world in your hands. They got the fracking and the cracking in your hands. They got the shunting and the dumping in our lands. They got the itty bitty pieces in our scans. They got the whole world in their hands. We got the whole world in our 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 hands.
Reduce, refill. What are the 3 R's?
You want to reduce, reuse, and refill or recycle.
Yeah, there we go.
Wow. What are some of the things that we can do every day that can contribute towards saving now the environment?
It's not an easy fix, Nalo. There are things, our lifestyles need to change. We don't know where our food comes from. We don't know where our clothing comes from. We have by 2035, it's said that we'll have more cigarette butts in our oceans than fish, which is insane to think. So we really need to change our lifestyles. And like I said, just reduce, reuse, and recycle as much as we can.
And that's how it goes, ladies and gentlemen. Tomorrow we've got Utina, who's our very first guest presenter for the month of June. To be like her, follow the prompts and ni emelele go ayanda at capetowntv.org. So see you tomorrow when we bring you Fashion Wednesday. Goodbye, so long. Bye. Thanks to everybody that has joined us, especially to you. This is Ekse Live.